coming to you now in these lovely cardboard packs, which are gorgeous for storing things in. So that's what we've got there, and that it's coming. And I would actually keep these like this and just store them one behind the other in a basket that I have next to my desk. So that one is the afternoon tea. So just to show you what you get in there, I'll just move this out of the way for a second so that you can see what we actually get. So this is your set of acrylic stamps, and you can see that there are several of the cake. They're all numbered, so you know which one to do first, second, third, fourth, and in this case there's a fifth layer. Now they all vary slightly with how many layers there are to build up to give you that definition, but they're all numbered, so you can't really go wrong with it. You start at the number one and you just work your way through them. And then, like I said, there are also some sentiments in there as well. So in this one we've got, I'm just here for the cake, which is about me, sums me up. We've got a happy birthday in there and a with love, and then one that says cake time. So they're all relevant to the actual design. And then the second piece that you get is the metal part. So again, we've got in here the metal piece to cut out the whole cake. So when I've stamped it, I'll show you how this works. And there's a second metal piece which cuts out the detail on the top of the cake. So if you want to start building up and making it a little bit 3D, then you've got the means to do that as well. So each stamp set comes with its own metal dies to go with it. They're a combination of both. So I'm just going to put that to one side so that I don't lose the acetate there, and I'm going to come back to the stamp. So let's bring that stamp platform back into play. Turn your platform over, Jan, so that you put it on the right side. Now there is a little trick with these, and there's a couple of things that you need to bear in mind, and I'm going to keep going over that and saying it just so that it sort of gets in my head really as well. So the first thing you need to be aware of, I'm just going to take the carrier sheet off there and pop that to one side. I'm going to take the first stamp that says number one, and again, if we can get sort of, let me just see what I can pop that on. Will it show up on there? Yeah, you can just pick up here, just on the corner, there's a little extra piece to the stamp which has got like a right angle on it that's not actually part of the design. Now that is on every single stamp, and this is the bit that you need to be careful with now, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. And again, if you've, as I say, if you've used our stamp sets before, you'll be familiar with this. So because my stamp plate's got a grid on it, I now need to decide which part of that grid I'm going to use. And each time I place a stamp down, I'm going to use exactly the same part of the grid. So where the crosshair is in the middle, I'm just going to go to this top right hand set of squares, and I'm going to line up really carefully that little bit on the stamp that's got a right angle on it inside that top section of that crosshair. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that when I place all the other layers, they all go in the same place, and this will help me line up when I start stamping. So again, as I said, Nina cardstock, we'll pop that on the stamp mat, and I'm just going to go for a plain old cake. We'll just have a plain one. I've picked sandstone, which is the lightest shade of our brown collection. So we're just going for an ordinary Victoria sponge cake today, I think. And because these are a sponge platform on the inks, I just need to be really light-handed with it. Obviously, with its being sponge, it will depress. So if I go heavy-handed, I'm going to end up covered in ink. And why am I saying this? I know this because I've done it and thought, holy smoke, you know, there's ink everywhere. So really light-handed with them, just gentle, let it touch the stamp, and you can almost feel it connect. So I'm not really pressing on this time, I'm just letting it connect with that stamp so that I don't get too much ink on. And then the second bit that you need to be aware of is once we've lined our stamp up, I'm also going to choose a spot to line up with my cardstock. So what I'm going to do here is the bottom of my grid here, I'm going to line up with the bottom corner of my cardstock. So I'm just going to pop, just excuse my head if it gets over the picture just for a second. I'm lining up this left hand side and the bottom one with the corner of my card, and then simply press down, just let it have a second or two, and that will transfer. And again, I'm using those beautiful quick dry inks. Look at that. no smudging involved, and these is perfect for this layering because you don't have to wait for that layer to dry before you then start with the next one. So I've just got a piece of kitchen paper. I'm just going to dab any excess ink off there and try and do my best to keep the housekeeping going, and pop that one back straight back on the carrier sheet so that I know where it is for next time. Then I'm going to go to stamp number 2. Now remember I said wherever I'd pick that spot on here, I need to do the same again. So this top right hand side, I'm going to pop that little right angle into that section just to make sure that it's in the same place. Now layer number 2 is just going to give me a bit of definition on my cake now. So I've gone to the next shade of brown. So this one's Friar Brown, which is the mid-tone out of those brown brown layers. So again, remember I said nice and light, all right, so that you're just hitting the part of the stamp that you want. Otherwise, you just end up with a big sort of blob of ink. And as I say, I'm saying this because I am quite heavy-handed, so I have to remind myself as well. So just on there nice and lightly until it picks up the ink. And then I'm using the grid on my stamp pad so that I know that my piece of card is straight. And remember I said I'd got this outside edge of the grid level with my piece of cardstock. And then once we go down over the top, again, quick press down, couple of seconds, lift away. And can you see now how it starts to become 3D? And that's just 2 layers. Now you might think, well, you've missed a bit, Jan, it's got some gaps in. Bear with me, okay? So just a little quick, I'll just dab these off and clean them up afterwards properly. All right, so then I'm going to pop that one back on the carrier sheet, and then I'm going to go to number 3. So number 3 has the bits to fill in the gaps now, and in this case there are strawberries. We're having a strawberry cake. So again, I'm going straight into that same corner, and I'm just going to keep repeating this instruction just so that it gets into my head. All right, now then, if these are strawberries, we need a change of colour. So I'm going to pick the lightest shade of pink now. So we've got pink tulip going on there. And again, nice and light, just hit that area of stamp that you want. Flick it over, and exactly the same process. So I'm lining up that edge on the left hand side and at the bottom, and then when this goes down, this is going to fill in the gap now. So we've got some sort of frosting going on now, a little bit of pink frosting in my cake. Can you see it coming together? Okay, so again, just tap off the excess on there, pop it straight back. If you keep them on the carrier sheet, you've got all those numbers there so that you know which ones to use. And then number 4 now gives me the detail in those strawberries. So again, I'm going to use that crosshair and I'm going to pop that in the same place. So forgive me for repeating myself, but it's just to reaffirm where it's going. And again, this is the fuchsia, which is the mid-tone in the pinks, because we want that to show up over the top of the light layer. Same thing again. I'm going to line up that cardstock, line up my stamp plate, and it's perfect if you've got a grid on your stamp plate over the top, and then this is going to give you all the extra detail, and you see it coming to life slowly. And then we've just got 1 layer left for the cake now, and this is just going to add a final bit of detail on there. So again, pop it back on there, grab number 5, and this is just going to add a little bit of greenery now because the strawberries need a top on. So again, that little bit on the stamp, same part on my grid. So I've just gone for that top piece, and this time I just want one of the greens. Gentle tapping on there again, just to catch those bits of the stamp that we need to stamp out. Whoops, I've missed a little bit too light there at the bottom. Flip it over, exactly the same again. I'm going to line up that bottom left-hand corner with the outside edge, pop it down, and then this is going to just put those little green sprigs on the top of the strawberry. So you can see there, if I bring this to the close-up, let me just move all my bits out of the way there and bring this in now. You can see here how it's built up that lovely 3D. So that was just 5 layers of stamps, 5 different coloured inks. So if you've got it doesn't have to be our Harmony inks, it will work with any ink. But obviously the fact that these are quick drying makes it so much easier because you haven't got to wait for that next layer to dry. So I'm just going to show you the die cut element with it now, the metal die, and see if we can cut this out. All right, so that's just the second part of the set. So if you remember, I said each set had the acrylic stamps in there. Let me just pop this one back on its carrier, and then it also had the metal to cut it out. So I'm just going to pop that one back on there, cover it over, and then we need that piece. I'm just going to cut the outside of the cake out to show you. So again, you've got a nice thin metal die here. If I just pop that on that overhead so that we can see there, and it's exactly the same outline as the cake itself there. All right, so I'm just going to use a little bit of our low tack tape there out of my beautiful purple caddy that matches my beautiful purple Gemini. Oh, I do feel lucky. I was hoping it hadn't disappeared by the time I got here today. So I'm just lining this up with the outside of the cake there. So just take a second to make sure it's in the right place. Pop a little bit of tape to keep it in the right place, and then it's just a straightforward cutting sandwich in the Gemini there. So I'm just going to pop my plastic shim, oops, minus the hair, don't know where that crept in from, my magnetic shim top cutting plate, and this is the first time I've been through, are we ready? Oh, feel very honoured today, through that lovely purple Gemini. So tell me in the comments if you're thinking of adding this to your collection. I know I was at our Chesterfield store teaching yesterday, and there was lots of ladies commented on the fact, I've already got a Gemini, but I'm still going to have the purple one in my collection. And it's almost reversed because the buttons are all glowing here in white this time on there. So that's passed through there, and let's just have a little look. It was only oh, I was just going to say it shouldn't have had any trouble. My actual piece of card's on here, look, and that's the die cut, so cut beautifully there, no problem whatsoever. So I'm just going to pop the die back onto the sheet so that I don't lose it. Get rid of my tape and pop that back on there out of the way. But you can see when I bring you this close up, you've got, you know, again, it would be really fiddly to cut round all those little tiny pieces there. You could do it with a pair of scissors, but why bother? That die, literally, it's got 18 seconds through there, 9 seconds if you go through your Gemini Junior. And a lot of these are probably small enough to fit through your Go as well.
Happy birthday, everybody! And who doesn't love a great party? Happy birthday!